forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Paulsen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Costin, I won't go down the same line of questioning that's been used already, but I do want to highlight an example of a case in my district as well. A small business person. I went out and toured this small business in Minnesota. This individual, a small business person at their company, had been involved and subject to 4 different IRS audits over the past 10 years, the most of which is the most recent is actually still going on. So far, each of these audits has resulted in minimal or zero changes to the company's income tax returns. And the most recent audit that's going on right now has been going on for 18 months. It's cost the company over about $110,000. It's an audit that is done to help train IRS employees, ironically, at the cost to the company. The agency has asked the company to produce an inordinate amount of information, even requesting a receipt for a $10 cab fare that occurred months ago. I'm curious, Commissioner, if the company came forward tomorrow and said, this information has been lost, this $10 cab fare, we cannot find it, similar to the hard drives being undiscoverable, you'd understand that, right?
Yes.
You'd understand that, and you wouldn't hold them accountable? They wouldn't have to produce that record?
I'm not an exam agent, but if, as in this case, he said, I don't have the receipt, but I can, by other information, demonstrate that pretty close to $10 was what I spent, that would be allowed, just as our providing you 24,000 Lois Lerner emails from the time of the crash.
If they had a system of hard drive crashes that went forward and they came forward and said there's nothing we can do, the servers are down, the hard drives are gone, we have no recollection, we can't retrieve the data, would you end the audits?
As I say, I'm not an exam auditor expert. I can tell you that those trying to become compliant, whether they're individuals or businesses we reach out to, and we're trying and anxious to work with taxpayers trying to become compliant. The ones we're concerned about are the people willingly and consciously avoiding taxes, especially those offshores. Those I'm happy to chase to the end of the earth and throw in jail. But the people trying to become compliant, we reach out to and do the best we can to, in fact, work with them.
And this is following just clearly on the same situation that Mr. Teaberry identified earlier, or that others have identified with individual cases in their district, with our constituents who look to the IRS for impartial judgment, obviously, right, and understanding. Let me ask you, Commissioner Koskinen, if an employee at the IRS has a computer problem, is there a way to track when that employee called regarding the computer problem?
Yes, there are tickets, which is how we actually, in February, discovered that there had been a computer crash. I misspoke the middle of 2 hours at the last questioner. I said we didn't know about the crash until at the end of April. We didn't know about the ramifications of the crash. As I said in my organized testimony, there was the ticket, in fact, the information from IT that said there was a crash, which caused us to then take the time to figure out what did that mean, had their emails been lost. That's when we then discovered in the production of the emails the track of the emails that confirmed that, in fact, there had been a crash. There had been a significant effort trying to restore the emails.
So with that ticket, would the IRS be able to track what the IT issue was that was actually being handled?
I don't know what the details of the ticket are, but I do know from the correspondence in the emails that it was a hard drive crash, and from some of Ms. Lerner's emails that she was unable to get to her emails.
Would you be able to check, based on the ticket, who handled that particular IT issue and how it was resolved? Tracking mechanism within the IRS?
I don't know what the ticket would show, but we'd be happy to make sure you have the ticket and any information related to it.
Can you identify or tell me who at the IRS in IT area handled Ms. Lerner's computer crash issue in 2011? Is that knowable? Who handled that IT crash issue?
Yes, it was a frontline, the correspondence was within a frontline IT manager. What was not ordinary was when it couldn't be retrieved by the normal IT experts, to have it sent to the experts at the Criminal Investigation Division, which was an additional step taken.
Can you tell me what caused Ms. Lerner's hardware crash?
Pardon?
Can you tell me what caused the crash itself?
I do not know what caused the crash. In fact, in my understanding with computers, 3 to 5% of them crash as a general industry standard, and there's no way to know why they crash.
Can you rule out, Commissioner, what you know, or based on these tickets, can you rule out that Lois Lerner destroyed her own computer? Can you rule that out?
There's no evidence that she did, and in fact, if she had done that...
You rule that out, though?
Well, you can never rule out something you don't know, but at this point, there's no evidence. The evidence is she worked very hard to try to restore her emails.
And can you answer the questions about the hard drive crashes for the other 6 employees as well that were involved in the targeting? similar situation? Can we identify and make sure that they were not intentionally?
We
on
are
these tickets?
investigating that right now, and as I've said, we'll give you all of the information we're able to determine about when those computers crashed, whether any emails were lost, what's been done with the hard drives. To the extent they're still available, they'll be made available.